Hello, welcome to this live. I want to show you what to do. Now, this video is geared towards clients, photography clients. So this video is about painterly portraits. Now, if you want an upscale, classic looking heirloom quality portrait, then painterly portraits are the way to go. And I want to show you how they're done today in this video. Now, it can be done with just a click of a button inside of Photoshop. Photoshop will just do it automatically for you in a minute or two. But today, I want to show you how to do, how it's done the best way by people that are real masterful at it. And they do it painstakingly by hand, brush stroke by brush stroke in Photoshop. So it takes a lot of time. It's painstakingly slow. It's a process that takes patience and care. And you have to have some knowledge of fine art painting. So join me today as I tell you more about this process. And what it does is it gives you beautiful photos that look beautiful on your wall. They look like beautiful paintings, and they are just photos that really stand out from the crowd. So let's get started. I'm going to be sharing my screen with you today. And what I want you, I'm going to show you, here we go. All right, so let me show you these two photos. Like I mentioned earlier, Photoshop will do a painting in the click of a button. So I want to show you this photo as an example of what Photoshop will do. So I want you to notice, let's see. I want you to notice this photo right here. Let me see if I can get, all right, this photo. Okay, so I want you to notice this, because this is the original photo. And I want you to notice this area too. This is the original photo. Now I want to show you what I did to make this into a painterly photo. All right, so if you notice, that giant light is gone. Okay, so I had some photographer friends that are way better than me take a look at it. So I removed that giant that giant light. And then check this out. I totally added a whole piece of the photo that wasn't even there. Let me hide that. All right, so if you look at the original, you can see that there was nothing here, but I added it over here. Okay, so this is the process of what a photographer that really takes a lot of time and care and dedication with their photos is going to do for you as a client. Now, I mentioned that Photoshop will do the painting in one button, and it does do that, but this is what happens when Photoshop does it in one button. It makes these weird brush strokes, especially on the skin. So you can see, oops, sorry. So you can see here, I did the one-click Photoshop version, and it does okay, but it does this really weird pattern, and it looks especially weird on the skin. Look at her fingers. Her fingers are gone. You see that? She has no more fingers because Photoshop took them away, and her skin looks really odd. So that is why I don't do this with the Photoshop preset. So let me close that, and I'm going to close this, and I'm going to close this. All right. So this is what the painting looks like when it's done by hand. When it's painstakingly done by hand, then the artist gets to have like their own creative vision for it, and everybody does it differently. So one thing that I want you to notice is that I added hair. Oh, I closed the other ones. And all of these brush strokes are very intentional, and they just have a different look. So this is what a by hand digital painting will look like for you as a client if you get a painterly portrait like these. So these are just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So I'm going to show you another example. Here's an example of what can be done with digitally painting. And so I want you to notice here is the original. This is the original photo. And so what I want you to notice is here that her hair right here, there is none right there. So I painted some in over here. See that? I painted over her skin just a hair. And then I also painted these flowers in. You see them over here. So let me go to the original. This isn't a great picture of it. Not a great quality. But you can see that these were these might have been done in Photoshop, but the hair was done by hand. So there's an example of something that can be done when you take the time to do it by hand. So I've got this photo. I'm going to show you a little bit of the process. This photo right here, and I actually have this in a big print. So let me show it to you. This photo right here is printed. And I've always wanted to paint this photo and make it into a painterly photo. This is just almost the original. It's almost the original photo. And so a portrait like this would look really nice in a painterly style. So I'm going to show you that. Let me have a seat, and I will just take a few minutes to show you what that process looks like with this photo. So this is the original photo. And this is the one that I'm working on painting. All right, so let's take a look at the changes that I've already made, and then I'll just do a few strokes for you guys to see what this does. Okay, so what we're looking at here is there's a lot of hair that, now these are my daughters. This is kind of an old photo, but you can see a lot of misplaced hair and a lot of empty places where there is no hair. And I already started over here. Like, for example, let's take a look here. I already started on this side filling it in. And I did that by hand, just stroke by stroke with a brush in Photoshop. And what I would do, let me close this up, and I'll get started on this. So what I would do is I would come into Photoshop and I would start really cleaning this up. I will add more hair. I'm going to show you close up what it looks like. This is hair that's been added stroke by stroke. And I've started softening up her face with a brush. And so what I would do is I would just take my time. I would brush this up. Hold on. I would brush this. So let me work on this flower. So I would just brush this stroke by stroke until it looked like a painting. And you can see that it would take a ton of time. Now, put away my mouse because this is what I would be using for doing this type of work. So, and this is just a little, what do you call it? I can't think of what it's called right now, but I would be just in here, just painting away. And I'm just showing you really quickly what this looks like. So let me show you my screen. Hold on. Okay, so let me go back since I wasn't sharing my screen with you. I already closed that file. So let me see. I think it's this one. Okay, so here's the original file. And so what you can see is that there's tons of places where their hair was kind of messy and I didn't realize it when I was photographing. So like right here, there's no hair here. Right here, there's hair on her shoulder that really needs to be cleaned up. And this, I probably would just fill hair in right here. So all of this can be done by making it into a painting. So this is the one that I have been working on. So let me show it to you again. So I have filled in places where there was no hair, like here and here. And as I go through the process, I would remove this bothersome hair. And so I've been working on Isabella's face and hair. So let me show you what that looks like. I just go in here to Photoshop and I'm going to show you on this flower what this looks like. This is the process. Hold on. All right, so the process looks like this. Now there's different types of brushes that I can choose, different types of brush strokes. Everybody moves their brush in a different way, but in essence, this is the beginning of the process. So you can see that it takes a super long time. This is the way that I would do this petal. And that's super fast. I didn't show you the whole thing. Faces are actually the hardest. So I'll just show you really quickly. Oh, good gracious. Sometimes this thing acts up. Okay. All right, here we go. I'm just cleaning up her face, just making it more ready to be exhibited as a painting and having that painted look. You have to take it real easy on the face. So, and if I was going over here, I might pull in some yellow on a brush. I might add yellow here and make that ribbon really stand out. And oh, my dog is on the other side of the room eating chips. Okay, hold on, because my brush is seriously acting up. Sorry. Okay, so just gonna leave that be. Do you hear him eating a bag of chips? All right. So obviously the big stroke is gonna make big brush is gonna make really big strokes. But you can see here that all of this actually is hair that I added that was not here before. And so I would go through this and do it just stroke by stroke. And there you have it. That is the process of doing painterly photos in Photoshop. Now, I offer these in anything bigger than 16 inches because obviously it doesn't make any sense to spend hours and hours on something that's only going to be printed this big or this big. That doesn't make any sense. So this is meant for really giant, my dog. This is meant for really big, beautiful wall portraits to hang on your wall. So if you want something that's really different than what you're going to get from most other photographers and you like the look of a classic heirloom style portrait, then the painted portraits are the way to go. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Annabelle Valencia. I'm a photographer based in Lawton, Oklahoma. If you have any questions about anything photography related, please ask me and leave your comments or questions in this video. All right, see you next time. Bye.